So today we're going to be putting a tire pressure monitoring system on this 2019 Chevy dually as well as our 2016 Premier travel trailer. Alright, the second step is to install the included batteries. This does come with 20 batteries, so they do give you an extra set, which is nice. To install, you unscrew the cap, take the flat side of the battery up, slide it into the sensor, reinstall the cap. Also note there's a small O-ring. It's actually around the perimeter of the threads. Those do need to be replaced. After a while they do keep the moisture and everything out of the electronics. They do supply you another set, which is nice. So just the next time you go to change the battery, it's probably ideal that you go ahead and change the O-rings each time. Alright, once you have the main module charged up with the supplied USB cable, next step to train the unit, we're going to turn it on by pressing the center button. It should power up and display that it's monitoring. Now we want to put it into learn mode, and to do that, on the top of the unit, there's actually arrows to the left and the right. We're going to press and hold both of those down. And now you'll get lines showing at all the tire locations, and the front left now is flashing. It's ready to accept the signal, so the next step is to go to the front left wheel of the dually and we'll install the sensor. Alright, we're ready to install the sensor now, so you're going to remove the old valve stem cap. And when you go to install the sensor, as you start to install it, you're going to hear a little bit of a rush of air. Okay, as you tighten it, it's going to seal. Snug it down. And within a few seconds, you should see it start to read that. Now that that one's set, we're going to hit the right arrow. And now we'll go to install the right tire. All right, for the front right, we've got the indicator flashing. We'll remove the valve stem. Cap, sorry. Screw on the sensor. Almost immediately now, we start to show pressure on that. Once again, hit the right arrow. Now we'll start to back left on the dually. Alright, now we're ready to try and put the sensors on the dual rear wheels. These are a little tricky. I've got big hands, and if you can see the valve stem location, the outer wheel points in, and the other one, I don't know if you can see it in there or not, is actually pointing out. I can't get my hand through that hole, nor can I get it in between the tires, so I had to come up with a way to get these sensors in there. Let me install the outside one and then I'll show you what I came up with. Alright, got that reading. So to do the inside, there was no way for me to get in there. Gotta grab another sensor. So I worked on this all morning trying to figure out how I was going to get that in. Basically what I found was these sensors fit pretty snug into a 13/16 socket. It is a 6-point, and I just pop it down in there And then go through the wheel. It's enough, it snugs it up. Oh. Alright, now I've got all 6 wheels set up on the dually. If you see a front and the number 1, that is the first vehicle. From what I understand, the trailer probably needs to be the rear. That way when you disconnect, you're not showing low pressure on the sensor. So again, we're going to hit both buttons. It's going to take us into learn mode. We'll just scroll back one. So now you'll see the display change to rear. And I'm going to set it up now for my front left tire on the travel trailer. Alright, same as the truck, other than we switched to the rear now. We've got the left-hand side flashing on the display. So we're going to go ahead and replace the caps on the trailer. Alright, now that we've got all the trailer tires and the truck tires taut, we're going to go ahead and hold down both the right and left button. And now we are monitoring. Alright, now that we've got the tires set up, we actually need to tell the system what the tire pressures need to be. On your trailers, you should have a sticker. It looks like this. It's telling me that all 4 of the tires on here need to be 65 pounds. On your tow vehicles, you should have a sticker inside the driver door. On this one, we're looking like we're 70 psi on the fronts and 65 on the backs. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and set up the tire pressures for the monitor so it knows what pressures we need to be at. To get into that mode, you hold down the center button for 5 seconds and it should display a P on the screen. And then we can select right or left. Right now we're PSI. We can also, it detects air temperature inside the tire, and we want to leave that at Fahrenheit. We'll hit that center button again, and now it's going to jog over to the front left tire. Now we can use the right and left buttons to set the tire pressure that we should be. We're 70. Oop. 65 on the rear. Trailer needs to be at 65. I just had those tires installed. They're new Goodyear Endurance tires. Typically the max pressure on those is 80 psi. From what I understand, you should still follow the recommended pressures shown on the side of the trailer. Alright, 65 on all. We should be able to press and hold the center. Now we're back in monitoring mode. And I haven't checked these tires lately, and it's telling me I've already got a problem. order for the system to work, you also have to have a transmitter. If you're in a motorhome, you need to install it near the rear of the coach somewhere. It has to have a 12-volt power supply. With travel trailers, it's recommended to install them on the tongue. You want to try and protect it from the weather. It is rainproof and everything, but you just want to protect it from the elements, stones, things like that kicking up on it. On mine, to make it easier and to protect it a little bit, I've decided to go ahead and take the, I've got a hard gas cover. I'm going to install the unit in there. I've actually drilled 4 3/16 holes through there. I'm going to mount the unit inside the gas cover, and then I'm going to route my wiring. All right, now I've got the range extender installed. It's inside the gas bottle cover. Using a couple wire ties that were supplied. 3/16 holes. There's the unit inside. Now we need to reinstall this on the trailer and go ahead and hook it up to a 12-volt power source. Kind of hard to see, but I do have the transmitter now mounted inside the plastic gas bottle cover. I'm just going to have to make sure every time I take this off, I need to disconnect the wires so I'm not ripping them out. The unit does have alligator clips that come on the wiring. I'm just doing this for show today. I'm actually going to go and purchase some ring connectors tomorrow and permanently install those and then tie this wiring up a little bit. I just want to get it hooked up to test it, but it looks like everything's functioning as it should be.